Hi, Steve here. In this video of Wombot, I'd like to just show you the settings and how this bot is designed to work. So basically it's a weight of money bot, and it also has a favourites option as well. So there's three options that we can use. Best backed, this will look at the best backed horse in that period that you have set up in the bot. I'll show you that in a sec. And we've got steam favourite. So if the favourite is a horse that has firmed in the market, then it will be the horse that will be bet. And then we have favourites, which is just basically looking at the market, and the lowest priced horse in the market is deemed the favourite. And if it meets the other criteria, e.g. like our price range, etc., then it will place the bet on that. And then we have down here we have our different staking plans. So first off with Wombot, you have back 1, back 2, back 3. So these are three completely different strategies within the bot that run separate to each other. So each strategy, for example, if we just have a look here in back 1, I'm looking at the place market, and I'm backing the best horse, the favourite. If it has steamed in, then it will be my bet, providing in the place market is between 1.5 and 10, which is what I've got here as my price, as my place price options. Now I'll just make one thing clear here. The bot looks in the win market to judge the horses that are coming in, solely because the weight of money here. And obviously if people think a horse is going to win, then obviously it's going to figure predominantly in the place market. But we use the win market as our gauge because there is more money, and it's a more accurate reflection on the winning chances of the horse. Okay, so let's go and back to where we were. So we've got back 1, which we can run this scenario, back 2, which I'm running a place one again, but I'm only using I'm using the favourite. So this is the favourite in the marketplace, regardless of whether it's firmed in price or gone out in price. It is still, I'm looking at the market favourite. And in back 3 here, we're looking at the win market, 15 seconds out, and we're looking for the best for the favourite. Only if the favourite has shortened in price, then this back 3 will consider it an option and back it. Okay, so we'll just go back here. So looking at the bot, what we've got here is all the races here, and this is for the back 1, back 2, and back 3. So they are all the races, and these, if we click on the ones with the V next to them, these are the venues. In back 1, I'm only showing the UK and Ireland there, because if we look at back 1, I've only got Great Britain and Ireland ticked, so it's only showing those fields. If we go to the venues in tab back 2, where I'm betting Australia, then you'll see the Australian options are there as well. Now if, for example, you didn't want to bet at Royal Ascot, you can untick it and the bot will bypass that race. Or for example, if we go scroll back here, say you don't want to bet in this single race in Ascot, then you can untick it here. Now if you're going to start unticking venues and races, you need to untick the auto reload. The auto reload reloads the fields every 30 minutes. So if there's races that have been delayed through injury or ambulance not on the track and that, then when Betfair changes the time, the auto reload will pick up the new time. And of course it's adding races with the reload. But if you're going to deselect venues or races, please untick the auto reload. Show market is basically, if we click on this race here, say if we click on show market and we click on this Ascot race, then it will show the market here. Now there's no need to be looking at this market here or having it displayed in order for the bot to work. The bot will work regardless of whether you can see the fields here or not. That is for your own observation. I run without the market showing because it uses less memory and requests. Okay, we have a little button here which is the software manual, so you can always go back and have a look at the manual. This has got all of our bots, so if you click on that, it'll take you to a page that displays all our bots, which is around about 20. Now up here we have our account balance. This is our test account. We have our account balance, and then we have the money that is still there. So the difference between these two, you can see we've got bets that are in play. If we click on current, there's no bets here, but there must be bets on some of the other bots that we are running. And then we have here the profit on the back 1, 2 and 3, and you can see there we've got 0, -8 cents and 0. So they are the three tabs that we're using. And this the API request here is just how many requests the bot is sending back to Betfair every second. Now we've got a little button here, sort. That sorts the fields, so I'll just click on there. So if we click on sort, you'll see that the shortest price horse will come up to the top, which it is already there, but you'll see here Maori Knights at 9.2 and Titanics there is at 9.6. They'll change places. So if we click on that now, you can see there now Maori Knights. So this gives you the correct order of favoritism from the top to the bottom. Okay, which is quite important, especially if you're looking at, if you go to an Australian race, for example, when it hasn't run yet, let's say this one at Seymour, these are always in saddlecloth order, so you can see that they're all jumbled up. If we just click on sort, you can see now it's brought the favourite up to the top. So that's the sort button. The next one here tells you how much is in the market. At the moment it's $12,000 in the market, and how far before the race. We're 11 minutes out from the race, and it tells you the race and obviously the distance, etc. Okay, so apart from deselecting venues or races, which we never do, but it's totally up to you, then most of what you need to concentrate on is here on the right hand side of the bot. So along the top there we have our countries, so you tick the countries that you want this particular back to bet on, okay? And whatever you change in here will only affect back 2. It won't affect back 3 or back 1, only here. So for example, you've got the choice of the place market, the win market. Now the win price here, once you go to win market, so if I was just to change that to place market, you'll see, to win market, you'll see here the place is greyed out, and so that means these boxes don't take any play. But this is a place one, so I'll go back to place. Now with the win price, maximum and minimum, this is what the bot will look at here when it determines the favourites, or the steaming favourite or the best backed. It will be looking in this price range here. But if you're in the place market, then before it places the place bet, it will make sure that the bet is satisfactory to this ratio here, in between the 1.5 and 10 that I have here. So on this bet 2, back 2, if a horse's place price is not between 1.5 and 10, then this bot won't bet on that horse in this race. Time to bet, we always have it at pre-play, but you've got an in-play option there. And 15 seconds, this is when the bot will make all its judgments on the price movements, or if you've only got the favourite tick like we have here, which is the favourite in that race now. At that 15-second interval mark, it will then make the judgments and place the bets. So that's quite important there. The next thing here, minimum match, I've got 1,000 in there, but basically this is how much money is in the market at this time here. So if the market is not greater than 1,000 here, then the bot will not consider the race. Matchbook percentage, I've got 103. It's how much is the back percentage of the market. So an ideal market is 100%. That means that if you backed every horse you would come out even, obviously less your commission. So the higher the book price here is the more uneven or uncompetitive really is the market. So it means you've got a bigger gap between the lay and the back prices, and it's better to have this closer to 100 than away from it. 103 works well, so leave it at 103. Then of course you've got your runners market. Runners minimum is, I've got 6 and maximum is 14. So obviously you don't want to be betting in this case on races with only say 3 horses in it. Well, if there's only 3 horses in the place market, it won't come in. So you can set your market, your field sizes there. Now the important thing here is interval minutes. This here is set at 4, so on back 2, this bot is reading the market from 4 minutes out. It will take a snapshot of the market with all the prices and all the horses. We also have here then if the how is the in-play action going to happen. So if the bet doesn't get taken, say the bot fires the bet in for a horse at say 2.5 and the market's dropping and we can't get 2.5, how do you want, once the race goes into play, how do you want this bet? Do you want to keep the bet? If you do, you would push keep. Do you want to cancel the bet, or do you want to place the bet at SP? So it will take the starting price. So you've got those 3 options there. We just keep it at SP. And then the commission, because I've got Australia, Great Britain and Ireland here, I've just set the commission at 8 because in Australia there's 4 to 5 different commission rates. So I've just put 8, and this is the commission rate that the bot will work out its percentages and that on. And then when it comes to the 15 seconds before the off, then it will compare the prices and see which horses have moved in and on which horses, if you've got the steam favourite, which horse is the favourite, and if it is the favourite, has it come in? Has it been back then not a favourite, it's gone from 2.5 out to 3.2, but a horse that might have been favourite now, but it's coming from say 3.5 to 2.5 example. So it must have firmed. You're not going to be betting, if you have this option ticked, you're not betting a favourite that's drifting in the market. You have, obviously here we have best backed as well. So if we have the first favourite ticked and best back ticked, that means the favourite must have firmed, but it also must be the best, must have firmed by the most. It must have been the biggest firmer in the field in order for the bet to be placed, if you have those options ticked. In this one we just have favourite ticked, so it is looking for the first favourite at the 15-second mark. It doesn't care about the snapshot when it's taken, it only wants to know what is the market, who is the favourite at this 15 seconds before the off, if you have the favourite option ticked. You can tick multiple options here, or you can just say I'm going to be backing the 4th favourite. And if we use the best backed option here and just tick first, that means we will be looking to back the horse that is the best backed horse between 2 and 40, whatever odds you've got up here. So it doesn't matter what the price is, say at the 4-minute mark out when the market is snapshot, doesn't matter if the horse is say at 80 to 1 and then it comes all the way into 20 to 1. If you've got best backed option ticked and the first best backed, and that horse is the first best backed, even though it was outside our price range when the initial market snapshot was taken, because it's now in between 2 and 40, then it would become your best backed horse at 40, if indeed it was the best backed. Okay, so that's how best backed only looks at the horse that has shortened the most. So either the first one, the second, the third or fourth, or multiples, the first and second if you want to. Okay, so that is how the best backed option works. So here we have level staking. If you tick that, then whatever stake you put in that box there is all it will bet. It will bet continually at that stake. At the moment there I've got 10 cents. So if I had level staking ticked, it would be betting 10 cents on every selection. The avalanche button is ticked, and avalanche staking is a staking that there's a link in the other manual that you can have a look at and see exactly how avalanche staking works. Basically, you put in a virtual bank. So in here we've got a £10 bank, and we're betting 1% of the base stake. Now, so that would mean we're putting in a 10p or 10-cent bet. But when we have a win, the winning dividend is spread over the next 10 bets. So it's increasing your staking for the next 10 bets. So, and that's how avalanche works. Avalanche is like a snowballing effect. So I really like this staking plan. So in fact, all these three I've got here, I'm using the avalanche staking plan. So that virtual bank there is what you put in, and that's how avalanche works off these set figures. Now the one that we've used on nearly all the bots all the time is stop at a winner. Basically it means is if you have a loss, then the bot will try to recover the losing stake money and also still try and make the winning amount that you've set. And in this case here, stop at a profit per race. We're looking at 10 cents a race or 10p profit per winning race. So if the race loses, we still want to make our 10p, but we want to recover our stake money so that at the end of the, whether it be 1, 2, 3 or 4 bets before we have the winner, we will make our 10 cent or 10p profit. So if that's continue, then all it will do is it will start again and chase the win again, the target again. These ones here are ticked. It means stop at a profit on each tab. If we have 5 here and we don't have that ticked, when tab 1, and these are referring to the staking tabs up here along the top, which I'll discuss in a minute. If those tabs get, one of those tabs gets to 5, then that tab will stop if you have that unticked. So leave them ticked so the bot just keeps rolling along. Stop loss relates to the stop at a winner. So basically if you have stop loss and you have it ticked and 10 in there and hard ticked, it means it will not go over, the series will not go over 10 before the stop loss cuts in, and then you restart again. Okay, and that is for the stop at a winner staking. And the hard, if you have it unticked, it means it will keep betting until you get to the 10, and then it will stop. So it will still place another bet as long as 10 is not breached. So if it's 9.9, you're losing 9.9 on the series, it would still place the bet. Or you can tick number of losses, or you can have them all ticked here, and whichever comes in. If you have 5 losses before you even reach the stop loss, the bot will reset according to the instructions down here. Continue with restart, continue and no restart, which I don't recommend you use because it will just keep on trying to, if you're on a very bad losing run, it will just keep on trying to recover your lost stake, but not recommended. And don't continue, it means if you hit the stop loss and you have don't continue ticked, the bot will stop. Okay, until such time as you restart it. Allow handicap, allow non-handicap, these options here. If you only want non-handicap races, you have that ticked, and allow handicap unticked. Or you have them both ticked if you want to consider all races. And you can use harness racing if you want to, and you can just tick the allow harness only, and it will only look at harness racing if you're a harness racing fan. The Mexican wave option here works on these tabs up here. So if we click on this first tab here, we've got it enabled. These are our 10 staking tabs, which basically means that back 1 could monitor 10 races at any one time, and same with back 2 can do 10, and back 3 can do 10. So there's 30 races that you could be monitoring at any one time if you have the enabled tab ticked. Okay. So we've got all these here. You can see this one's green because it is monitoring a race here, and it tells you the race that it's monitoring. So this one here is monitoring a race. Okay, so these are all the tabs here, and it tells you the profit and loss up in the corners. Okay, if you untick them, then that tab won't be used. So what Mexican Wave does, normally what the bot will do is it'll always try and place its bets in tab 1 if tab 1 is available. Okay, so it'll be in tab 1, and then if tab 1 is waiting for a race, the bet will go to tab 2, and then as soon as tab 1's done, the next bet will go back to tab 1. In Mexican Wave, if you have Mexican Wave ticked, it will go, the first bet will go on 1, the next on 2, 3, 4. It will go each through these just like a Mexican Wave of a football match, and then restart again. So if you want to spread your staking in that is how the Mexican Wave works. I don't use the Mexican Wave, but a lot of people do. The profit delta relates to the stop loss winning, and the profit delta is the amount of money that's added when you have a losing race. So remember when I said stop at a winner, if you had up to 3 races and the third race won, you'd still win your 10p or 10-cent profit. If you have a profit delta here set at a figure, and this one at the moment is at 1 cent, it means by the time the third race comes, it would have added 2 cents as profit deltas. So it means if the winner came on the third race, we wouldn't win out 10p, we would in fact win 12p, because the profit delta is saying we want a little bit more now that we're going to an extra risk, we want a bit more profit. So that's what the profit delta does. If you have a figure in here, it will add it once you have a losing bet. The first bet will still only try and get your 10p or £1 target, whatever you're after. But if that bet loses and you've got 1 here, then it'll keep adding 1p. If you've got 10 in there, it'll keep adding 10p or 10 cents to every losing bet. And then once you hit a winner, that profit delta is extra profit for you. And then we've had the start, stop, log out, and clear. What clear will do is clear the staking, and you'll restart back again. We've got the back results here, which are all the results from the back 1s, back 2s, whatever you've got there. And over here you can see the tabs. There's only a couple of 2s there, but all the rest have been happening on tab 1. The cancelled bets, the current bets. Okay, we've got a bet here at Seymour. It's on back 3 in the win market. And then we're back at the settings. So that is Wombot, and that is one other thing I meant to show you is the log file. This tells you everything what the bot is doing. If we can look at this Townsville race here, it tells you here the initial price, whatever they are. Say if we'd set it at 15, it would say, it's saying the initial price at 15 minutes before the off was 6.6, and now the current price now is 7.8. So it has a -6 gap in its ticks. Its ticks is the gaps, the price gap. So it's -6. If we go down through there, we can see -12, -9. This one here, general shot, is 4. So that's improved. It's come from 4.8 into 4.4. And we can see them all the way down here. This one here, soldiers, is coming from 11 to 8.4. So it's a 10 tick advancement on its price. So thank you for watching this brief overview on Wombot, and all the best using this bot. On behalf of Michael and myself, Steve, thank you, and we appreciate your time and your patronage. Thank you.